So it is currently about 1:30 in the morning, and I am basically in the middle of my workday. And that is because I have a medical condition called delayed sleep phase disorder. And why would I make a video about this? Because it's super rare. This is an extremely rare thing, and as a result of that, very few people know about it. There's very little information. Um, I would guess that the majority of doctors and psychologists and anyone in the medical field have no idea about it. I really don't think this is a well understood or a widely known thing. But for someone who has it, it's been a major part of my life. I mean, it's so massively impactful to have this disorder. I just want to spread the word. It seemed like an appropriate thing to do, to just say, hey, I have this disorder that like no one knows about, and maybe you're one of the rare people that has it in adulthood as well. Um, just to explain what it is, it's essentially a circadian rhythm disorder. So the best way to describe it is it's like having, let's say, anywhere from I don't know, 2 to 6 hour jet lag that is permanent, like a 2 to 6 hour jet lag that never ever goes away. Um, and there is no cure for it. It is what it is. Your circadian rhythm is just kind of built in, and it is, let's say, approximately 2 to 8 hours off of everyone else. Um, Now, when I say jet lag, it's not something where it shifts all the time. There is a different sleep disorder that's also super rare. That's called non-24. So their circadian rhythm is longer than 24 hours. So like their sleep time continually shifts over time. But I just have the basic like delayed sleep phase disorder, and bottom line, what it means is I have a set circadian rhythm. From what I can tell, I'm pretty sure it's a set circadian rhythm, but it's like probably a good like 5 to 7 hours after yours. Um, so it just means I essentially want to go to sleep around approximately 5 a.m. and then I'll get up early afternoon. Uh, on a good day, like 5 a.m. to early afternoon probably. Um, Although there's plenty of times I'll go to bed even later than that and get up like late afternoon or early evening. Like that's not entirely uncommon. Um, but that would just be the equivalent of you like sleeping till 10 a.m. or noon or something when you have a normal like 10 to midnight bedtime. Um, so yeah, it obviously that just has a huge impact on your life. And one interesting tidbit, I was listening to a Tom Woods podcast a while back, and he happened to mention that Murray Rothbard slept from went to bed at 5 a.m. and got up at 1 p.m. So it sounds like Murray Rothbard had this exact same sleep disorder. Um, that is not going to make me Murray Rothbard, but I just found it super interesting that he mentioned that, and it's like, whoa, okay, he had to have had that same thing. Um, so apparently, it is a temporary syndrome that happens to up to like 10% of teenagers. So the whole stereotype of teenagers sleeping late that's probably where it comes from. It develops like when teenagers are growing, in about 10% of them, where it's not just some like teenage preference thing of staying out or staying up later going out. Um, like they genuinely have this disorder, but for most of them it goes away. Um, if they're unlucky like myself, it's like 1 in 600 adults have it. So it's super rare once you get to adulthood. but late teens, maybe early 20s, about 10% of people suffer from this. So um, if you didn't already have enough reasons to pull your kids out of school this year, that's another one. Because like the school system, that they want to start at like 7 or 8 a.m. It's insane. Like 10% of the kids going to school being forced into this super early schedule are just going to be zombies. And I mean, that's kind of what it was like for me, man. I mean, I got so many tardies in high school. Um, I mean, I remember one day the principal in high school came to me and he was like, hey man, I gotta give you a detention here. Like, usually you have like 33 tardies and we've never given you a detention. We're supposed to give you one after 3, but it's like, it's one of those things where I was such an under the radar kid that I was never a problem. It's like they just didn't notice. But after like 30 some times getting written up for being tardy, they finally gave me a detention. But it's like, yeah, if it's just hell for some kid that has the syndrome. And again, there's a 1 in 10 chance your kids have it. So um, yeah, pulling them out of school and just letting them have their own schedule. Oh my God, that would have been amazing. That would have been amazing. Um, I mean, I didn't quite realize I had this disorder. Honestly, I didn't really confirm that I had it until like just a couple of years ago. When I found it, when I looked it up, I was like, you know what? My whole life has been like this. Surely I have something. So I just Googled it and I found it, and it's like, okay, yep, I have. This is what I have. Um, but yeah, so this is something where becoming a freelancer and therefore having my own schedule and not having a regular job has been crucial. Just being able to getting into web development or whatever, and working for myself is absolutely essential. Because having to show up to an office, during the day or something, it's just um, you're just never at peak performance. You just never have peak cognitive function, because like right now is when I want to be doing things. Um, so now, if you're, and that's the thing, if you do realize you have this, or if you think you have a kid that has it, just embrace it. Just embrace it. I mean, I mentioned I'm unfortunate, but at the same time, it's like, well, you're only unfortunate if you don't really understand what's going on, and you don't embrace it and adjust your life accordingly. So if you're a teenager that has it, or an adult that has it, or if you think you have a kid that has it, just embrace it. Second and third shift are a thing. So just, if you need to get a regular job, go for second or third shift. Neither one is necessarily ideal, because honestly, with third shift, you could be going till like 7 or 8 a.m. before you get off. And honestly, I mean, it's not the worst, but it's a little later than most of us want to be going to bed, even if we have this syndrome. Like, usually you at least want to be going to bed by like 5 or 6 or something. Um, so third shift pushes it a little too far. Second shift is probably the best option out of your typical shifts at a job. Because second shift starts at what, 2, 2 or 3. Some might start a little earlier. That would be bad. So 2 p.m. kind of pushes it. It's not ideal. Like, honestly, ideally would be, um, getting to work by uh, something more ideal would be like 4 p.m. And I think that's a little bit later than a lot of second shifts. So, but 2 or 3 is like workable. You know, like you can still do like good sleep hygiene, and try and get really efficient with your sleep. And 2 or 3 is at least like livable or manageable when you have this kind of a disorder. Um, but yeah, even better would be to do something like I did and just find non-traditional work. Just get into a non-traditional uh, field, or a non-traditional role in your field, like contract work, freelancing, whatever you can do to where you work when you want to. You can set your own schedule. That would be the priority, I think. So, um, yeah, just kind of a random personal video on something that affects me. And maybe some of you out there see this and you're one of the rare people that has it, or maybe you have like a teenager that seems extreme when it comes to sleeping late, and hopefully you'll look into this and see if maybe they just have this temporary syndrome. And that's something to keep in mind. And rather than assuming they're like lazy or undisciplined or something, maybe they have a genuine disorder that they cannot change. And in a super rare case, it may never go away. So it's time. You can't willpower or discipline your way out of this. Um, so you need to adjust your life or allow your teenager to adjust their life accordingly to fit it. If you want them to be able to sort of operate at peak capacity and do whatever it is they're wanting or needing to do in school or in their work or life or whatever it is. So anyway, just thought that might be interesting to some people out there. And that's all for now. I'll talk to you guys later.